the latest casualty of Mexico's fierce drug war, the media. 4 journalists from 2 of the country's top broadcasters were kidnapped by drug gangs last week. They were covering a story in the state of Durango where prison officials were accused of arming inmates to carry out a massacre. Their newsroom colleagues took to the air calling for their release. And in a rare outcome in Mexico, the journalists were freed. In the last 4 years, at least 38 journalists have been killed or remained disappeared. These released journalists say they were intimidated and beaten by their captors, who demanded that their channels air messages from cartels.
It's a sad and sour experience that I wouldn't wish on anybody, not even our worst enemies. It was psychological mistreatment, threats against our family.
Mexico has become one of the world's most perilous places to be a journalist, as cartels increasingly target those covering the country's spiraling violence. People who study local media say some news outlets have already begun to self-censor in an effort to protect themselves.
Cuando se mata o se desaparece a un periodista, el impacto.
When a reporter goes missing or is killed, the impact of the murder or this disappearance is enormous, not only for the family but also for close colleagues of the reporter in the region. More and more reporters feel threatened and they say, well, we don't want to cover these events.
It's a sentiment echoed by journalists who say an attack on one of their own is an attack on the industry as a whole.
The kidnap of our colleagues represents the kidnapping of all journalism on a wider scale. The risk is that in the future many other media outlets and programs will find themselves in the same and very delicate situation.
Also at risk that Mexico's most important story will go uncovered by those who understand it most. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.